Hey, what's up, home bakers? Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are making soft, fluffy bread rolls shaped like sausages, packed with spicy Sambal oelek and cheesy Parmesan. This flavor-packed combo is seriously addictive. If you are craving carbs with a kick and a fun twist, you won't want to miss this one. Alright, let's get started. So what is Sambal oelek? It's a simple chili sauce with a bold kick. Sambal means chili sauce and oelek translates to grind, referring to its traditional preparation of grinding fresh chilies into a paste. It's spicy, tangy, and the perfect way to add heat to these bread rolls. You can find it easily in most Asian grocery stores. But if you can't find it, no worries, you can substitute it with sriracha sauce or even blend your own using fresh chili, garlic, and a bit of vinegar. Both work great. Now let's make the softest and fluffiest rolls. We will start with the Tangzhong. Cook the milk and flour over low heat in a saucepan. Keep stirring the flour mixture until it thickens into a smooth paste. This paste is known as water roux and helps to retain moisture in the dough, resulting in softer, fluffier, and more moist bread. Once ready, transfer it to a bowl and let it cool completely before adding it to the dough. Now we need to bloom the yeast. Even though it's instant yeast, I like to activate it first to make sure it's still alive before adding it to the dough. Add the yeast to lukewarm milk, then mix in 1 teaspoon of sugar from our total 25 grams. Give it a gentle stir until the yeast is dissolved and evenly distributed throughout the mixture. Cover it with a towel and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Depending on your kitchen temperature, it might take longer. You will know it's ready when you see a layer of foam forming, just like this. For the dough, add the bread flour, remaining sugar, and salt in the mixing bowl of the stand mixer. Then give it a good mix using a silicone spatula. Next, add the beaten egg, bloomed yeast mixture, and cool Tangzhong. Attach the dough hook and start kneading the dough at medium speed. You might need to stop the mixer at the beginning and help the dough come together. Once the dough begins to form, slowly add in the softened butter. Continue kneading until all the butter is fully incorporated. You might have noticed that I'm using my baking buddy, the stand mixer, to knead the dough. But if you don't have one, don't worry, you can knead the dough by hand, of course. Just keep in mind that since this is a rich dough, it will take a bit longer. Keep kneading until the dough passes the window pane test. It means when you can gently stretch the dough thin enough to let light pass through. That's when you know the dough is ready for its first proof. It should be smooth and stretchy, just like this. Slightly oil a bowl with vegetable oil, then wipe off any excess. Place the dough into the bowl, rolling it around to coat the surface with oil. This helps prevent it from sticking during proofing. Cover the bowl with cling film and place it in a warm spot to proof until it doubles in size. Since my kitchen is quite cold today, I have placed a glass of hot water inside the oven to create a warm and cozy environment for the dough. Just keep in mind it may take anywhere between 1 and 2 hours. Once the dough has doubled in size, sprinkle some flour on top of the dough and gently press it to release excess gas before shaping. It helps prevent overly large air pockets from forming and ensures a more uniform rise during the second proof and final bake. Then use a dough scraper to carefully transfer the dough upside down onto the work surface, keeping the sticky sides up. This helps the dough stick to itself as you pull and fold it into a ball. Gradually pull and fold the dough to shape it into a ball. Look at that, smooth and bouncy. This is exactly what we are looking for. This recipe makes 6 rolls. First, we will weigh the dough, then divide it into 6 equal portions. Now, we need to shape each portion into a ball to make it easier to work with. First, find the smooth side. Then pull and stretch the edges toward the bottom and pinch tightly to seal. Finally, place it on the work surface and use your palm as a guide to gently roll it into a smooth ball. Once you have finished, cover the dough balls with a tea towel and let them rest on the work surface for about 15 minutes. This rest period allows the gluten to relax, preventing the dough from becoming too tough or springing back too much. While the dough balls are resting, let's get everything ready. Line the baking pan and prepare the filling. Here I've got some Sambal oelek from the jar and freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Of course, you can use pre-grated cheese if that's what you have on hand. Also, you will need some bread flour to sprinkle whenever the dough gets sticky. After 15 minutes, the dough should be relaxed. Let's work with one portion at a time, keeping the remaining dough covered with the tea towel to prevent it from drying out. Roll the dough out into an oval shape, about 6 inches long. Use a dough scraper or knife to make a cut halfway through the dough. This is actually my first time shaping the dough this way, and I'm still figuring out how thick to cut the dough. I love experimenting with new techniques because baking is all about the journey, not perfection. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't, but that's what makes it fun. It's about empowering ourselves to keep going and not be afraid to make mistakes. For this one, I have cut it this thickness, but I will try it a bit thinner next time to see how it changes the final result. Then roll it up like a sausage, starting from the end with the filling. If you find it difficult to roll it back, you can use a dough scraper to help with the process. Then pinch the end to seal the cut. Place the rolled dough onto the baking pan and let it rest for the second proof. Now let's try cutting it thinner, shall we? This time I'm sprinkling more cheese. Who doesn't love a little extra cheesy goodness? Also, halfway through rolling, I'm spreading a little more Sambal oelek on the outside of the dough for an extra kick. This is what I'm talking about. Keep experimenting. A little more Sambal oelek for that extra kick and a sprinkle of cheese. Why not? As the dough is super soft, you might need the help of the dough scraper to transfer it onto the baking pan. Continue working on the remaining portions or experiment with how you'd like to cut or fill the dough. Once all the dough is filled and rolled, cover them with a tea towel and let them rise until nearly double in size. This should take between 45 and 60 minutes. Before we review the rolls after the second proof, let's make the egg wash by mixing the milk with the half-beaten egg we saved from making the dough. After 60 minutes, our rolls have puffed up perfectly. They are light, airy, and smell absolutely irresistible. Just before popping these babies into the oven, brush a thin layer of egg wash on top. This not only gives the rolls a golden, shiny finish, but also creates the perfect surface for sticking the grated Parmesan cheese. To be honest, who doesn't love more cheese, right? This little step will elevate their look and flavor. Trust me, you'll be thanking me later. Then bake them in the preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 16 to 18 minutes. For your reference, mine took 17 minutes. Now let's take a look. Thicker or thinner cuts? Which one turns out better? Which one do you like? But remember, no matter how they look, what matters is the journey. They still taste amazing, and that's what counts. Keep baking, keep learning, and most importantly, have fun. If you are now craving some delicious carbs, check out the full recipe in the descriptions below now and give it a try. You won't be disappointed. Alright, if you enjoyed this bake, don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your fellow home bakers, and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on the next tasty recipe. If you are a bread lover, this recipe is a must try. Click on the screen now and let's dive into more delicious baking together. Happy baking and see you in the next one. Bye!